The Charlotte Hornets ended up acquiring Michigan State forward Miles Bridges in a trade with the Clippers. The Hornets needed some more athleticism on the wings, and Bridges is one of the best athletes in the draft. He already has an NBA body and is ready for the physicality of the NBA. He scored frequently on spot-up perimeter jumpers and off screens, as well as pick-and-roll opportunities. I believe Miles Bridges is destined to play power forward exclusively because he isn't a great ball handler, and he still has to prove he can consistently hit the outside shot on the NBA level. Miles Bridges doesn't have the length you would want a big man to have, but he does have the athleticism to make up for it. Whether he plays the 3 or the 4, he is definitely an upgrade over Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Marvin Williams. But if there was any team that needed to take a chance on Michael Porter, it was the Hornets. The Hornets are not a free agent destination, and they're a good enough team not to be terrible enough to get a top 5 pick. Even though I believe Michael Porter will never be the same player again, I still think there's a chance he could get back to his high school form, and the Hornets had a chance to draft him, but decided to play it safe with Miles Bridges. The Hornets need a star, and Michael Porter could have been that guy to help carry a franchise. That was a risk the Hornets should have taken. Charlotte sent a pair of second-round picks to Atlanta to move up and draft Devontae Graham with the 34th pick. Despite not having the athleticism or measurables to be a primetime player, he does bring valuable skills to the table. The 4-year player developed into a leader at Kansas and is known for his intangibles and basketball IQ. Graham shot over 40% from three-point range during his whole career in college. He can also dish the rock, as he averaged just over 7 assists per game in his senior season. The Hornets need a good backup point guard behind Kemba Walker, and Devontae Graham is ready to come in now and take over that role. With the 55th pick, the Hornets took a chance on the 6'10" Lithuanian forward Arnoldas Kubica. This guy has draft and stash written all over him. Kubica is an excellent shooter from deep. He averaged around 14 points and 4 rebounds for Lithuania in the 2017 FIBA Under-19 World Championship. The Hornets plan to keep him overseas and watch him develop, bring him over, and see what he's made of. My grade for the Charlotte Hornets is a C+. There were reports for a while that the Atlanta Hawks were crazy about drafting Trae Young with their first pick. Whether they traded down or not, the Hawks were zeroed in on the Oklahoma point guard. But this could come back and bite them because they had a chance to keep a player like Luka Doncic, who is regarded as one of the best prospects in the draft. But the Hawks decided that Trae Young was their guy to move forward with. Trae and Luka's careers would be linked together because of that trade. Atlanta was able to also receive Dallas's first-round pick next year, which is top 5 protected. Everybody knows what Trae Young is capable of. He has ranged from 30 feet and was the first player in a long time to lead the nation in points and assists. It would be nice to see Trae Young play with better players, which will open up more opportunities for decent looks. The one thing Trae is better than Steph Curry at is his vision. Trae Young is an unbelievable passer, and his shooting will open up driving opportunities, and he can finish at the rim or dish it off to a teammate. But there are questions about his size and will he be able to hold his own on defense. Getting stronger is a must for Trae Young. The Hawks drafted Maryland sharpshooter Kevin Huerter with the 19th pick. His shooting ability is his #1 skill. He is very effective on the ball and off the ball. The 6'7" has good court vision and court awareness, which will allow him to initiate the offense at times. Huerter wasn't looked at as a first rounder about 3 months ago, but at the NBA Combine, scouts were really impressed with his testing and versatile play during the 5-on-5 scrimmage. What is more impressive is that Huerter played much of the season at Maryland with an undiagnosed torn ligament in his right hand. The injury remained while Huerter participated at the Combine. He is a very solid defender and plays the passing lanes well. Needs to add weight to his 195-pound frame. Adding around 10 to 15 pounds will help his overall game. You could say that the Atlanta Hawks got the poor man's version of the Splash Brothers with their first 2 picks this year. It's clear what style of play they're going to have under new coach Lloyd Pierce. And with their 3rd pick in the first round, the Hawks selected the athletic big man from Villanova, Amari Spellman. He showed enough promise as a stretch big man in his freshman season that the Hawks took a chance on him. The crazy thing about Spellman is he actually shot a better percentage from 3 than Trae Young and Kevin Huerter last season. He is also able to defend both big man positions and can also play the 4 or the 5 on offense. Spellman is a solid passer and can attack closeouts well and is athletic enough to finish above the rim. Not a great low post scorer, but he showed occasionally that he could be serviceable with his back to the basket. It seems that the Atlanta Hawks have some of the ingredients to become the Golden State Warriors of the Eastern Conference. My grade for the Atlanta Hawks is a B+. One of the few surprises in the draft was when the Wizards drafted Troy Brown Jr. at 15. It's not that he isn't worthy of going that high, it just felt that he was going to slide in the draft. But Troy Brown is a very versatile player. He can pass the ball, rebound, score, and can defend multiple positions. He just has a natural feel for the game. He can handle the rock and score off the dribble, and is athletic enough to finish at the rim. He has the size and length as he measured in at 6'7", 215 pounds with a 6'10" wingspan. You can put him at the 1, the 2, and the 3 position on offense and defense. And Brown is still 18 years old. He's the second youngest player drafted by the franchise since 1985. There's a chance he could get minutes in his rookie year, but with Austin Rivers being traded to the Wizards, and you also have Otto Porter, Kelly Oubre, and Tomas Satoransky, there might not be a spot for him to get minutes yet, but it's a good pick for the Wizards. The Wizards drafted a relatively unknown international prospect with the 44th pick with Yusuf Sanan out of Ukraine. The 6'4" combo guard is athletic and is a very talented scorer. He played for Ukraine's under-18 national team in 2017 and averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 assists per game. Sanan plays both sides of the ball. He likes to get downhill and attack the basket. Like Brown, Sanan is also 18 years old, but the Wizards plan to keep him overseas for a few years before he comes over. Like Tomas Satoransky, Sanan plans to join the Wizards in Summer League this year and gain some experience against NBA-level competition and return overseas afterward to continue to develop for the NBA. My draft grade for the Washington Wizards is a B-. The Orlando Magic had a really impressive draft this year. At number 6, they took the talented big man from Texas, Mo Bamba. Call me crazy, but I think Bamba has a chance to be just as good, if not better, than Deandre Ayton. He can be just as valuable to a team as Ayton can. Bamba has a crazy 7'10" wingspan, and he also has the agility, athleticism to be one of the best shot blockers in the NBA. His defense is his obvious primary skill, but he also can be more than just that. I believe he will show more on offense than he did in college. He has the potential to be a good shooter from the outside. Being a full spacer and a dominant defensive player who can stay in front of guards on switches and also protect the rim has great value to a team, and you need that more than ever in today's NBA. And somehow, one of my favorite players in the draft, Melvin Frazier, fell to the second round and was available for the Magic to draft him at 35. Like Bamba, defense comes natural to Frazier. He's quick, fast, athletic, with a 7'2" wingspan while standing 6'6", has active hands, and plays passing lanes. He showed the ability to occasionally score off the dribble. He improved as a three-point shooter every year and shot 38% in his junior year at Tulane. He plays with a lot of intensity and passion and is someone who is self-motivated. Justin Jackson was looked at as a potential first-round pick at the beginning of the season, but a shoulder injury ended his sophomore season and was the big reason he fell to the second round. He also has a long wingspan. Every pick the Magic made this year has a wingspan at least over 7 feet. Jackson shot a great percentage from 3 in his freshman season, but he struggled to duplicate that in his sophomore season. If he can prove he can knock down the outside shot consistently, then the Magic got themselves another high-level pick in this year's draft. My draft grade for the Orlando Magic is an A.